Hey, Bryce Carlin's here at First Worlds 2017 in Houston. I'm here in the pit of 4468 Fernbank Links. I'm here with
Marley Bridges, the pilot.
Brandon Smith, safety captain.
Alexander Lucy, human player.
and we kind of talked to them. We're familiar with this team being from the Georgia districts, and I definitely noticed they're definitely one of the faster robots in the fields, especially one of the fastest I saw in Georgia. And I want to talk a little bit about, first and foremost, your kind of like strategy coming like into the season, what you were discussing then, and like kind of how you like pivoted throughout the season.
All right. So in the beginning of the season, we started out by identifying that gears were the most viable strategy because they had the most points in the faster method of obtaining them. So we decided that we would focus in that direction. But once we started the build season, we started to spend a lot of time developing a shooter because we kind of deviated from our main strategy. And that was like a shortcoming on us. So then partially through, we had to realize what we were doing and that we had to stop and focus on what was really important to us that we'd identified in the beginning. So then we went back to our mainstay, the gears, which we were able to accomplish.
Okay, very cool. And you said you designed and like built the gear intake like very like rapidly like in the middle of the season, or like towards the end of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
So another thing I noticed. So yeah, back to like the speed of your drivetrain. I noticed that like, definitely it was the fastest robot that I saw in the Georgia districts. What kind of I definitely noticed I think it's kind of an underrated design feature because the speed, like the raw speed, it just allows it to be a lot more like functional in the fields. It can like make it for a lot of shortcomings other places. Do you guys notice any kind of thing with that?
Right, so our drivetrain is a West Coast center drop with a motor input on each side of the drivetrain, and we have 2 sims and 1 mini sim running each side, and a shifting gearbox, so it allows us to have like a really high speed of 19 feet per second running for quick cycle runs while we're on the field. But when bots are in the way or we want to go a line a bit slower, we have a low gear which is about 8 feet per second, which gives us more torque for pushing other bots out the way.
Okay. And you said you had originally a floor pickup for your gears, but you said it didn't really like work out for a couple reasons.
Correct. We created this floor intake after our first competition. We evaluated the competition and we felt that picking up the gears would be useful during a match, quicker to bring it to the airship. But after further conclusion, we realized that our drivetrain is so fast that it's more efficient to just drive and pick up a gear and then return it to the ship.
It's just a lot more reliable picking it up from the human player station, and you're so fast it doesn't even matter at that point.
Correct.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, we've used it maybe once or twice on the field, and it's just not a strategic advantage because you have to line it up, and it's really hard to get to, and it's faster just to drive.
Very good. I also heard a little bit about your problem solving with your winch, and you said you originally had like a bit of a lower torque. Explain to me a little about that.
Yes. So on our original climber, we ran through a bunch of iterations to finally settling on a design like this, where we had the 2 motors with the 775 Pros, but our reduction was 100 to 1 using 2 10 to 1 stages. And we found out that the sundial in the center was too small and it was breaking at our state competition. So to solve it, we added an additional stage and increased the reduction to 108 to 1 by using a 9, a 4, and a 3 to 1 stage. That way, we would have larger dials so that when the torque was put on them, they wouldn't snap or break or anything.
Yeah, I definitely noticed a lot of teams with running 100 to 1 versus planetaries with 2 10 to 1 stages, and they would just shatter the sun gear in the middle of the stages every time because the 10 to 1's the biggest stage and it has the tiniest sun gear in the middle.
Right.
So you went down to like smaller reduction stages individually, but it makes the actual sun gear in the middle a lot stronger.
Right.
Yeah, so that worked out really good. Anything else? Good. All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.